Hello aspirants, welcome to Shankar IAS Academy's editorial analysis. Today's date is 18th of April 2025. In this video, we are going to discuss about two articles which is taken from The Hindu. The first article is Call for Permanent Settlement for Tribals, and the second one is Why are women missing from the factory floors in India? Before getting into the topic, Shankar IAS Academy is going to conduct All India mock test for UPSC Prelims 2025 on 4th of May 2025, 11th of May 2025 and 18th of May 2025. Interested candidates, register yourself through the link given in the description. This article, Call for Permanent Settlement for Tribals, is in news because the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes, that is NCST, has recently ordered a proper survey of displaced tribals in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Chhattisgarh. As we know, the tribal communities are among the most vulnerable people in India, and the displacement of the people from their native will create an adverse impact on their livelihood, identity and their rights. This topic comes under mains syllabus of GS2 and GS3. First, we have to know about the primary causes of tribal displacement. The first and foremost cause for the displacement of tribal people from one place to another is the security issues present in it. In 2005, more than 50,000 tribal peoples has been displaced from Chhattisgarh due to left-wing extremism. And the second most reason for their displacement is the development projects, that is construction of dams, highways and other mining activities in the tribal areas. The perfect example for this displacement is construction of Sardar Sarovar Dam in Narmada River, which led to 41,000 families has been displaced from that area, which led to a historic social movement called Narmada Bachao Andolan. And the third cause for their tribal displacement is that political conflicts. The presence of ethnic tensions between two communities, that is minority communities, and the presence of ethnic tension between two tribal communities or the clash between two tribal communities and external insurgencies and border disputes also causes displacement of tribal people from one place to another. The best example of this is the tribe Bodo has been in constant conflict with other minority communities and Muslim speaking Bengali communities in Assam. The fourth most important cause of tribal displacement is ecological disaster. It may be either due to natural or anthropogenic. It is floods, erosion, cyclones, etc. The best example for this ecological disaster for which led to tribal displacement is the missing community, that the community present in Assam, particularly in Majuli Island, displaced from the island due to river erosion. From the prelims perspective, this Majuli Island is important because it is the first island to be converted into a district in India, and it is the world's largest river island. The word Majuli means a land between two parallel rivers. After we get to know about the causes for the tribal displacement, we are going to know about strategic hamlet program and its history and impact on people. In this, first we have to know what is strategic hamlet program. The strategic hamlet program is an tactic used to counter insurgency by relocating the tribal people from one place to another place, that is one place to fortified place, and isolate them from extremists or insurgents, and also preventing them from supporting the extremists or insurgents. At the end of 1949, Government of India relocated tribal communities from forest to mainland roadside camps to counter communist revolutionaries in Telangana. For that, they have appointed number of tribal peoples as special police constables. On that, Koya tribals played a major role and they called it as Tiger Squad. Under a combing operation done in 2005, Chhattisgarh, the government has displaced more than 50,000 Gond tribal peoples on the process of eliminating Maoists from the Chhattisgarh region. The only place in India where the strategic hamlet program is on success is that Mizoram. That too in the year 1960s, the government has successfully and amicably placed a deal signed with the Mizo revolutionists, Mizo fighters. And in the recent past, we have seen that the Mizo tribes and the Bru tribe, which is the tribe which also known as Riang tribes, have a conflict, and the Bru tribe got displaced to Tripura. The next thing we have to note is the challenges faced by these tribal peoples who are displaced from their native. The first challenge the displaced people face is the lack of national or international law for internally displaced people will make the rehabilitation and resettlement process a tedious one. States like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are reluctant to recognize the people as tribals, which in turn led to the harassment by police, forest officials, and locals. As per the Forest Right Act, if a tribal person got displaced from the native forest land, an alternative forest land has to be provided in compensation. But despite the law, many tribals in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Chhattisgarh has not been provided with forest land as compensation. Forest land as an alternative. Either they provide no compensation, or the compensation which is not adequate for their living will be provided under Land Acquisition Act of 2013, which makes the tribal people suffer a lot. And some of the regressive actions taken by the state governments like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. In Telangana, the tribal people's land got occupied by the government when they got displaced. And in Andhra Pradesh, when a tribal people tries to build a home in forest land, it got violently destructed to make them discouraged to live in that land. And there is a significant gap between states, that is interstates, for taking responsibility for the rehabilitation and resettlement of tribal for their welfare. From this, we can get to a conclusion that what are all the things that needs to be done to ensure the tribal people to be the part of the land, and what are all the way forwards that lies ahead. The first thing we have to do is to draft a clear national policy for internally displaced tribal peoples, and then we have to make certain amendments in the Forest Regulation Act of 2006 and got it enforced, and we have to make amendments and enforcement in the Land Acquisition Act of 2013 too, for the welfare of the tribal people. And the another most important thing is that we have to ensure that an alternative land should be provided on their relocation or resettlement, and the proper infrastructure for their living. The government, either the center or the state, should take responsibility to protect the political and social rights of the displaced tribal people, and we should try to foster the interstate cooperation for rehabilitation of tribal people for their resettlement and relocation. With this, we can conclude that the displacement will make the tribal people's identity, culture, and dignity into shatters. And what is the need of the hour is the holistic and humane approach for the justice and peace of the people. In this article, why are women missing from factory floors in India? We are going to discuss about the status of female workforce in manufacturing sector, both formal and informal, and the causes for the declining numbers of female workforce in manufacturing sector, and the way forward. First, let me have some state facts on the status of female labor force in manufacturing sector. Before that, we have to understand what is formal manufacturing sector and informal manufacturing sector. Formal manufacturing sector is that one which is organized, regulated, and registered. And the informal sector is the vice versa of what is formal. Before that, we have to understand what is formal and informal manufacturing sector. The formal manufacturing sector is that one which is organized, registered, and regulated, and the vice versa is the informal sector. Likewise, in formal sector, an working individual will have the social protection and legal protection. Along with that, a comparatively higher productivity and access to credit. But the vice versa in informal sector, they were denied access to credit, and there is a chance of high exploitation and discrimination in the informal sector. Let us know about the current status of female workforce in the manufacturing sector, particularly in India. Generally, the manufacturing sector contributes almost one-fifth of the nation's GDP. Female workforce in formal manufacturing sector has been declined from 20.9% in 2015 to 16 to 18.9% in 2022 and 23 survey. As it is not a steep decline in the labor workforce in participation of formal manufacturing sector, but India lags behind other comparatively to other developing countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Bhutan, etc. In the formal manufacturing sector, Tamil Nadu alone contributes 41% of women in formal manufacturing sector. Overall, 43% of women workforce are in informal manufacturing sector. In the formal manufacturing sector, with less than 6% of women workforce as the contribution, the least performing states are Bihar, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, and Haryana. In this chart, we can clearly see that the state-wise representation of women workforce in the formal manufacturing sector and informal manufacturing sector. In the formal manufacturing sector, the number of female workforce contributed by Tamil Nadu alone is 41%, which is highest among the states. And in the informal sector, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra contributes to an overall amount of 40 to 45%. Next, we have to see the reasons for the dwindling numbers of female workforce in manufacturing sector. As per the periodic labor force survey, which is released by National Statistic Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, only 6% of women have the formal vocational education and on-job training. Because of the lack of upskilling or skilling them in workforce, the numbers contributing in the manufacturing sector got dwindled. And additionally, only 30% of women have completed the secondary school education comparatively to 47% of men who completed secondary education. And according to the data released by National Crime Records Bureau on 2022, around more than 419 cases has been registered or reported on sexual harassment at workplace. This makes the female workforce insecure and contribute for the decline in the number of labor force in the manufacturing sector. And one more fact for the decline of female workforce in manufacturing sector is that around 60% of women in formal sector are employed in textile manufacturing or apparels or wearing apparels and food processing industry. This got them decline or restricting the opportunity to work in the manufacturing sector. And another reason for the decline of female workforce is that the wage indifference between men and women, that is gender sensitization and denying of opportunities to get promoted in the workforce, is also high in female laborers. Traditional gender roles or gender stereotyping restricts the participation of female workforce in the manufacturing sector, that They feel that their responsibility restricted to their homes. And recently, the introduction of new technology like automation and artificial intelligence, robotics also plays a significant role in the decline of female workforce in the manufacturing sector, which was traditionally employed more female members. And what lies ahead is that we have to make a transition of women workforce from informal to formal sector, and upskilling and providing vocational education to the women workforce will improve the participation and subsequently the productivity of the workforce. We also have to take the steps to diversify the sectors which are employed by women workforce in any way possible. Ensuring safe and secure environment and better working environment will improve the numbers of female workforce in the manufacturing sector. Along with that, a reasonable wage and along with the reasonable wage and promotion will be an added advantage. State specific interventions is also a need to the betterment of female workforce to get involved in the manufacturing sector. Today's mains practice question is displacement of tribal communities due to developmental and security strategies like the strategic hamlet program and the underrepresentation of women in the manufacturing workforce both reflect structural issues in India's growth narrative. Critically analyze the socio-economic implications of these trends and suggest a roadmap for inclusive development. With this, we have merged the two topics that we discussed today on the editorial analysis and presented a new question. Interested candidates kindly dedicate some time and post it in the comment section given below. Thank you. Thank you for spending your time watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and stay in touch with us by subscribing to our channel.